Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today we are looking at the Caribbean History May June 2017 paper 1 questions. But before we start, I want to say a big thank you to all of my subscribers, and if you are stopping by my channel for the very first time, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button, like and share this video, turn on that notification bell that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified immediately. Question 1. Which of the following statements is true of both Jamaica and Cuba at the time of Columbus' arrival in the Caribbean? And the answer to question 1 is B. They were inhabited by Taínos. Question 2. Which of the following was not an activity in which the mayor engaged? And the answer is B. Making quick pus. Question 3. Which of the following statements are true of the Kalinagos? They adopted many Taino customs. They were skilled sailors and fishermen. 3. They fiercely resisted the Spanish invaders. And the answer to question 3 is all of the above options, D, 1, 2, and 3. Item 4 refers to the following map showing parts of the Caribbean and South America. The area where the Kalinagos lived before they migrated to the Caribbean island is labeled, and if your answer is C, 3, you are correct. Question 5. Which of the following best explains why many Kalinago women spoke the Taínos language? And the answer to question 5 is Kalinago girls were taught the language of the Taino by their elders. D. Question 6. Which two European countries were arch rivals in the setting up of colonies in the Americas in the early 16th century? And the answer is A, Portugal and Spain. Question 7. Which is the correct order from most to least powerful of European social groups in the 1400s? And the answer is D, kings, priests, merchants, and peasants. Question 8. The main reason why the English attempted to break the Spanish monopoly in the New World was to, and if your answer was to obtain a share of the wealth of the New World, B, you are correct. Question 9. Item 9 refers to the following statement. The authorities began the practice of allowing the Spaniards to extract labor and to collect tribute from the Indians. In return, the Spaniards were to see that the Indians were protected and to converted to Christianity. The practice referred to in the statement was known as the de encomiende. Question 10. The Dutch may be called the foster fathers of French and British settlers in the Caribbean in the 1600s, mainly because of their traders who kept the settlers supplied with foodstuff and other essential goods. D. Question 11. Which of the following resulted from the change over from tobacco to sugarcane cultivation in the Caribbean? And if your answer to question 11 is C, the black population increased and the number of landowners declined. And the best answer showing that option is C, 2 and 3. Question 12. Which of the following ports were British slave ships most likely to visit during the 1700s? And the answer to question 12 is B, Kingston. Question 13. The term barracoon is best associated with the, and if your answer to question 13 is C, housing of captive persons on the African coast, you are correct. Question 14. It is true to say the enslaved Africans in the British Caribbean were encouraged by their owners to farm on small provision grounds. D. Question 15. The large importation of enslaved Africans into the Caribbean during the 1600s and 1700s was due mainly to, and the answer to question 15 is the expansion and profitability of the sugar industry. C. Question 16. An enslaved African in the British Caribbean who stole from the plantation owner was least likely to be C, charged a fine. Question 17. Which of the following was not a similarity between the Maroons of Jamaica and those of Suriname? And if your answer to 17 is they both signed peace treaties with the British, A, you are correct. Question 18. Toussaint Louverture contributed to the success of the Haitian Revolution mainly by, and the answer to question 18 is by organizing the enslaved into a formidable fighting force. C. Question 19. In 1763, a major uprising of enslaved Africans took place in the Dutch colony of, and if your answer is Berbice, you are correct. A. Question 20. And we are going on very well. Which of the following were consequences of the Haitian Revolution? And the answer to question 20 is C. 2 and 3. All enslaved Africans were freed. The colony gained political independence. And the answer is C. 2 and 3. Question 21. Which of the following was the main purpose of the policy of amelioration? And the answer to 21 is, what is your answer? To improve the conditions of the enslaved in the British Caribbean. D. Question 22. Lloyd Mansfield is most closely associated with the declaration that C. Slavery was not legal in England. Question 23. Which of the following duties was not performed by stipendiary magistrates? And the answer is B. Teaching the apprentices new trades. Question 24. Which of the following did the amelioration measures of 1823 proposed? And your answer to 24 is, let me see if you get this one right. 1, 2, and 3. All of the options above. No slave woman should be flogged. Enslaved families should not be divided. Enslaved persons should not be sold as payment for debt. Question 25. The British government was reluctant to authorize African immigration after the abolition of slavery, mainly because, and the answer to 25 is, you are correct. The scheme could lead to a new form of slavery. C. Question 26, and we are going on very well. Most of the immigrant workers used in the Cuban sugar industry in the 19th century were, and the answer to 26 is Chinese. B. So most of them were Chinese. Question 27. Which factor best explains why East Indians did not return home after the period of indentureship was over? And the answer to question 27 is, and if your answer is some of them accepted grants of money or land, A, you are correct. Question 28. Just go down. Which cultural elements did indentured workers from Madeira bring to the British Caribbean? And the answer to 28 is Portuguese. D. Question 29. Which of the following did not result from emigration of indentured laborers to the Caribbean after emancipation? And the answer to 29 is the expansion of sugar production in Barbados. B. Question 30, and we are going on very good. The majority of immigrants brought to work in the British Caribbean in the years between emancipation and the First World War were employed as, and the answer to 30 is unskilled laborers. D. Question 31. Which of the following groups helped in the formation of free villages in Jamaica? 31 is definitely B, missionaries. Question 32. Let us go up to question 32. There were more free villages in Jamaica than there were in Barbados, mainly because, and the answer is A, in Jamaica more land was available for settlement. Question 33. Which group of territories contain the most crown land? Let us read that again. Which group of territories contain the most crown land? And the answer to 33 is Guyana, Jamaica, and Trinidad. C. Question 34. Which of the following was not a means by which freed Africans acquired land after emancipation? And the answer to 34 is D, receiving free crown land. Question 35. Which of the following, let us go back to question 35. Which of the following was not a result of the development of the peasantry in the British Caribbean after 1838? And the answer to 35 is legal recognition of the practice of obeah. B. Question 36. The policy by which the United States government was actively involved in directing the financial affairs of the Caribbean between 1905 and 1930 was known as, and the answer to question 16 is the dollar diplomacy. A. 37. Which of the following was the immediate cause of the United States declaration of war against Spain in 1898? And the answer to 37 is the USS Maine was blown up in Havana Harbor. B. Question 38, and we are going down nicely. Which of the following was intended mainly to prevent further extension of European influence in the New World? And the answer to 38 is, let me hear your answer, the Monroe Doctrine. A, you are correct. Question 39. The adherence of the United States to the Monroe Doctrine may force the United States, however reluctantly, in cases of wrongdoing or impotence, to the exercise of an international police power. The statement above is associated with President, and I know you know this one, Theodore Roosevelt. C. Question 40. Yes, we are going on very good. Question 40. Let us go up to question 40. Which of the following Caribbean territories was not occupied by U.S. military forces in the early 1900s? And the answer to question 40 is Jamaica. Question C. Question 41. Which of the following personalities was not directly associated with the riots of the 1930s in the British Caribbean? And the answer to 41 is George Price of Belize. Question 42. Which commission was sent to investigate conditions in the Caribbean as a result of the 1930s disturbances? And the answer to question 42 is the Moyne Commission. Question 43. Which of the following contributed strongly to the protests of the 1930s in the British Caribbean? Low levels of wages, high rates of unemployment, strength of trade unions. And the answer to 43 is definitely 1 and 2. Low levels of wages and high rates of unemployment. B. Question 44. Most of the Caribbean political leaders in the 1930s advocated constitutional changes mainly to, and the answer to 44, mainly to obtain self-government. And final question for this video, question 45. Marcus Garvey is best remembered for is, and I know you know this answer, is teachings on Black nationalism. B. All right, so this is part 1 of the Caribbean History 2017 past paper 1 questions. Look out for part 2, where we will continue from question 46 to 60 in another video. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so now. Hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Turn on that notification bell that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified immediately.